The US dollar has no value. It's not backed against gold or silver. What the US has is the petrodollar. The US worked out deals to make the US dollar the international currency for oil trade across the globe. So if we are not trading oil in dollars, the US has a major problem because our dollar has no value without the strength of the petrodollar. Our government would collapse if people stopped trading in USD with oil. So when Iran shut down the Strait of Hormuz, they made an alluding to that. They said, hey, if your oil and liquid natural gases are not being traded in USD, any other currency, especially the Chinese Yuan, with the rise of BRICS, we'll let your ships through. They are actively trying to devalue the United States dollar because they understand that if oil is not being traded in USD, the US dollar is worth nothing because it's not backed against anything. This is also why we went into Venezuela. In case y'all didn't know, Maduro was going to start selling oil to China, but using the yuan. He was going to stop using USD. And that's when the decision was made very quickly to go in and take him out of power and try to get American oil companies to Venezuela to take over oil extraction and processing there to keep it in USD. Because if we start losing those trades using the US dollar, we lose value of our dollar, which will cause an economic collapse or at least a massive recession. So now Trump is panicking and demanding that other countries send military aid to the Strait of Hormuz to make sure we can open it up and get it all open. And but we also already destroyed their military, so you guys, don't have to worry. We've already taken out their whole everything. But they might have put mine, so we just need you guys to come and help us out. Why can't y'all handle that? Why do you need other countries to handle that? No, you know that if other countries start to go into an energy crisis because oil isn't moving, if they have to buy oil in a different currency, they will, just to get the oil to their country. And I think this is why Trump wants other countries to get involved, to try to keep the status quo. But a lot of the countries are saying, absolutely not. We are not going to get involved, even if they don't realize it's about the petrodollar, but they will not get involved as of now. This is really concerning. And this is sad also that Iran is playing a really smart game that Trump and his team had no idea they would play. I do think people were aware that Iran had these cards to play, but somehow it eluded Trump and his whole entire team. But this is a major concern for the longevity of the United States, especially with the cost of this war, how much money we're spending on this war, especially when you hear that we've been borrowing $50 billion a week for the last 5 months. That means we're going to have to pay that money back, or we're going to have to pay back the interest. It's all of a mess. So much money is just being thrown around by the U.S. We're just hemorrhaging money everywhere. But if the U.S. dollar loses value, we have to pay even more in interest. Not just us as consumers, but the government itself. That means our dollar, that $1 trillion of debt, would suddenly get higher because the $1 trillion USD doesn't matter anymore because it'll be so devalued. So this is a major issue, and I don't know if it can be resolved. Iran has made it clear this is on their terms. And, the more Trump keeps talking about, the Strait of Hormuz is open, it's not. Some ships have already tried to go through and got blown up when you said it was safe. So now nobody wants to move. And insurance companies are not insuring those boats. So you have to wait for the insurance companies to insure the boats before people are going to want to move their boats. And now we also have a problem of oil production has been shut down in a lot of these Gulf countries, the Middle Eastern countries, because they have nowhere to put it because boats aren't moving. And it takes weeks to months to get those processes back running again once you turn them off. So I don't think Trump ever had a plan to mitigate this, let alone knew what he was doing or what Iran was capable of. But I do think they're starting to realize with this move, this is just a statement, whether Iran's actually doing it or not, if you're trading in anything but USD, other than that, you can go through. I think they're starting to realize what the game is, what Iran is trying to do. And Iran could very, very easily be successful in devaluing the US dollar since it's backed in nothing.
What's going on, everybody? It's your brother Nubreed coming through with another live stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Brothers and sisters, for many years, the world has been ran on one system, one dominant currency, one flow of power, one structure. And everything moved through that. Oil trade, global business, it all pointed back to the same place. And that's the dollar. Now, that system is slowly being bypassed and is being quietly replaced, piece by piece. See, what I want you brothers and sisters to understand is that the collapse of the dollar is not something that's going to happen overnight, but we're definitely seeing it. And what's going on with this war is more serious than a lot of people could ever imagine. Oil is about to go up 200 gallons, $200 a gallon, a barrel, pardon me, and it's already upward towards $8, $9 a gallon in certain places. It's getting real, but there's a ripple effect coming from all of this, and we're going to chop it up, and we're going to talk about what this means moving forward. Y'all know how we do. We're going to definitely be building on some current events, so as y'all enter, make sure you get the likes up, and let's get into it.
They working against us. They hate our souls. They hate us. They hate our righteous indignation. They hate the exhortation that dwells in us. They hate our love for the They hate our conviction. They hate the fact that we repentant. They hate the fact that we truthful, honest, and bold. They hate our courage. Them devils hate us. We're not finna line ourselves up with these weirdos and freaks, but these weirdos and freaks. They working against us. They hate our souls. Weirdos and freaks. But these weirdos and freaks, they working against us. They hate our souls. Nubreed.
Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Welcome back, everybody. Peace and blessings to everybody joining. Yes, it's good to have y'all back. Old School Rules is in the building. I see Tania's in the house. Insight is in the building. Dublin Fitzpatrick is in the house. All right, Empowered Educator, Empress, Wanda Austin. Y'all make sure y'all get the likes up on your way in. Hey, that intro gets the job done every time, don't it? Listen, brothers and sisters, times are changing right now. It's getting real. And you got a lot of people out there in the world, they rather stay ignorant. They rather keep their head in the sand. They rather ignore what's going on in the world. But the Most High's people like to be ahead of the curve. You know, we like to see what's coming on the horizon. We like to be on point, and we are the watchmen at the gate that the Bible talks about. And we know that we are living in the signs of the times. The book of Revelations is jumping off the page. Every day that goes by validates what the scriptures is telling us, especially when it comes to what's going on in America. You know, see, brothers and sisters, when you got a lot of major countries starting to move a whole lot differently, it should raise some flags. You know, they're trading oil without using the dollar right now. You know, the oil is America. Not even America's lifeblood, but the world's lifeblood. The earth's lifeblood is the oil. And it seems that a lot of countries, major countries, are now building their own systems. They're forming new alliances that do not depend on what it used to be. The old structure is gone. And one of the most important areas in the world is the Strait of Hormuz, because it contributes to a lot of the global oil flow. And now we're sitting in the middle of all of this, and we're really witnessing what's going on. You know, people hear this and they think, oh, that's political stuff. Oh, that's what's going on overseas. That doesn't affect me. No, it does affect you. You don't feel it as global trade. You feel it when them gas prices go up, when food start costing more, when those bills get harder to manage, when that money don't stretch like it used to. That's everyday life being affected by the things that we see. People looking at it, oh, this is just politics. No, listen, what's going on in the world, it actually prepares you for dealing with day-to-day struggles. How to move forward. That's right. The scriptures tell you in Proverbs 27:12, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. We seeing what's going on a day-to-day basis, you know? And the real truth that we speak here on this platform is about awareness, not about panic. And that's the part that a lot of people miss. This isn't about fear. This is about awareness. Because when you have a system that begins to shift, there's always a period when things become unstable. And the people who are not paying attention are the ones who are going to get hit the hardest. I'm telling you that right now. They're the ones who are going to have to deal with the consequences of being unprepared. See, what you're witnessing right now is not the collapse, but you're witnessing a transition. Power is not disappearing, it's only moving from one structure to multiple different structures, from one dominant system to a more divided system. What you're seeing is the New World Order practice order out of chaos. And when power starts to shift like that, tension, pressure, and uncertainty will also begin to shift. So we know that now the Strait of Hormuz will be pretty much networking with China, and they will be passing their ships through financing through the Yuan, which is going to really affect America. If you haven't heard of BRICS, you know, Brazil, what is it? Brazil, Russia, Iran, China, and I don't know, a couple other countries. Y'all could put the acronym in the chat, but they are about to really come together with a power play. So the country known as America that was the top dog in charge, they just got really bogarted just now. And this is the beginning of the end for America. You know, it's prophesied to fall. Babylon, the great, fallen, it's fallen. See, that's why right now, more than ever, you got to move with discernment, because most people are going to stay distracted. They're going to wait until something directly hits them before they start asking questions. But by then, they'll be reacting instead of preparing. They'll be reacting, and that's dangerous. And, you know, I'm going to tell y'all like this. I'm not saying everything is going to fall apart tomorrow. I'm not saying this. You know, I'm just telling you the way that things used to work, it's not going to work the same way anymore. And the sooner you recognize that, the more you would get prepared mentally, financially, spiritually, physically, the more you would literally prepare yourself. There we go. And BRICS, they making a power move right now. Yeah, Brazil, Russia, China, Iran, South Africa. You know, we've been talking about this for quite some time, y'all. And I remember a couple of years ago, I was making videos about BRICS, and I was like, look, this is something you want to look out for. This is a new power structure that's going to end up Xing out the American dollar. And it looked like they're well on their way to doing that in the midst of this war that's going on. So, you know, we just moving wise out here, man. We're moving wise, but, you know, we got some sources we got to go to. We definitely got some sources we got to get to. You know, it is getting real out here. And I want to share with y'all some things, because Trump is getting a lot of pushback. You got soldiers that are refusing to deploy. You got Benjamin Netanyahu, Israeli prime minister, who is allegedly unalived. And we just keep getting AI video after AI video coming from the camp of Netanyahu. And the rumors are really surfacing that he's no longer here. And I believe the man who originally reported that Bibi Netanyahu's house was hit in that airstrike from Iran, I believe they arrested him for announcing that. So there's a lot of foul play, a lot of corruption. But you know how we do. We like to go right down to the American people, and we like to see how they're thinking. And we can pretty much bring some scripture, bring some truth. If the Spirit leads you, brothers and sisters, y'all know what to do. Share scripture within the chat. Iron sharpens iron. But let's get into this. Let's get into it. And everybody, let's get the likes up. It helps spread the video. Let's go.
For the first time in years, the United States National Guard officers are straight up refusing President Trump's orders. They're saying this is not what we signed up to do. And honestly, They're definitely fucking right. So here's what's going on, y'all. Trump ordered the National Guard to help ICE patrol the streets of Chicago, right? Basically using the military troops to enforce immigration raids right here on American soil. But two officers had a big problem with that. Staff Sergeant Demi Palachek and Captain Dylan Blaha. They both said, fuck no. They're flat out refusing to follow that order. They're saying it goes against the community and against the Constitution. One of them said it flat out feels illegal. The other said, I signed up to protect the people, not to kidnap them. Hey, they know the risk too, man. Refusing a direct order could mean prison time, or court-martial, or even felony charges. But they said they would rather stand on the right side of history than become a part of something that feels wrong. When soldiers start refusing orders because they think the government is crossing the line, that's when you know something's starting to shift, man.
Hello.
Absolutely. And I want to chime in on that. A land divided cannot stand, brothers and sisters. Not only are we being beat, well, I'm not even going to say we. Not only is America being beat by Iran, but the American soldiers are not trying to fight for the country. That's a real red flag. They don't believe in the spirit of Babylon anymore. They can see that things are just going the wrong direction. And not only is ICE refusing to continue to deport individuals, but now you got people refusing to be deported, not deported, but deployed. And it's getting real. Let's go.
Hello, y'all. It's Deneen J. Sings. I want to read something to y'all about our military right now and this crazy war over oil and stuff. So, what I'm reading is, in an unprecedented act of defiance, active duty U.S. Army soldiers at multiple bases across the United States and overseas have begun openly refusing orders to deploy to the escalating war against Iran, publicly denouncing the conflicts as illegal and unconstitutional, and declaring they will not participate in what they call an illegal war of aggression. Videos and statements circulating from Fort Bragg, which is now Fort Liberty, Fort Hood, Fort Campbell, and several overseas posts show soldiers in uniform stating variations of, okay, this is not a defensive war. There is no imminent threat to the homeland. Congress never declared war. We will not deploy to kill and die for oil, politics, or foreign lobbies. We swore an oath to the Constitution, not to endless wars.
That's right. See, while this shift is going on, America's being broke down into fractions. So Trump is acting independently. Let's just call it what it is. And the American soldiers are refusing to go on the ground and fight for oil so these millionaires can just continue to enrich themselves. Because make no mistake about it, this is how they become mega millionaires and billionaires and keep their resources and finances. It's all the oil. That's the lifeblood of the world. And you got our soldiers who are here saying, look, we're not about to fight for that cause, because that's what it's all about. Billionaires and millionaires enriching themselves. When they took that oil from Venezuela, our gas prices did not go down. They done took over the whole production over there. And still, the prices didn't go down. These people are greedy. Trump admitted on live TV, he went after that oil out of habit. He said that we got twice as much oil as everybody. They did it out of habit because that's what these conquerors do. That's what these Vikings do. But America is falling because of it, because of their greed. Why? Because pride come before the fall.
I applaud them. The refusals, estimated in the low thousands so far, but are growing rapidly, represent the most significant military dissent since Vietnam. Key developments here. Entire platoons and companies reportedly standing down from pre-deployment training, soldiers citing lack of congressional authorization under Article 1, Section 8, some invoking, I don't know what this is, Nuremberg principles, and the Uniform Code of Military Justice, which is called UCMJ, Article 92, lawful orders only. Viral clips showing troops burning their deployment orders or turning in gear. Immediate fallout. Pentagon placed multiple units on lockdown. Court-martials and Article 15 proceedings already initiated. The White House called the refusals mutiny and disgraceful.
Listen, not only is that happening where our military is refusing to fight this endless war for resources, but simultaneously, the de-dollarization has officially started. You know, most people won't see it, but they'll keep living like everything is the same until, you know, they're forced to wake up. The American dollar is not going to be worth the same in the near future. You know, it's already, the value is already just not looking too good. In fact, you know, there's a couple scriptures I want to share regarding that. Yeah, there's definitely a couple scriptures I want to share with y'all. And a scripture in particular that stands out is, let me see if I can find this. Daniel 2:21. And he changeth the times and the season. He removeth kings and setteth up kings. So all this power shifting you seeing, listen, it's not random, but it's allowed by God. It's allowed by the Most High. Revelation 6:6. A measure of wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny. Now, back then, this is a day's wages. This is a day's wages. This is the inflation that I'm talking about, the scarcity, the cost pressure. And this is what is coming to America. And it won't happen overnight, but you can see it happening. But let's continue. And everybody get the likes up. Make sure you get the likes up to spread the message. That's right. The purchasing power is internationally being destroyed.
So Iran just shot the US dollar, and baby, they didn't miss. Iran fired the most dangerous shot this week of this entire war. And it was not a missile. So let's talk about exactly what the petrodollar is. In 1971, Richard Nixon took America off of the gold standard. The dollar wasn't backed by anything anymore, so the rest of the world said, why should we use it? Then in 1974, America cut a secret deal with Saudi Arabia, which they kept classified until 2016. The deal was that Saudi Arabia would price their oil exclusively in US dollars, and in exchange, the United States of America would provide total military security. It's supposed to be a simple trade, right? Oil in dollars, security in exchange. OPEC followed, and just like that, every country in the world that needed oil, which is every country, had to buy US dollars first.
That's exactly right. She knows the history. But I want to backtrack just a little bit because somebody shared a very pivotal scripture that definitely aligns with these soldiers falling back. Same thing happened in ancient Babylon. When you start seeing soldiers refusing to fight, oh yeah, it's going down. And this reads, and this is in Jeremiah 51:30, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might have failed. They became as women. They have burned dwelling places. Her bars are broken. See, they decided they're going to just chill up in the house. They decided, no, we're not going to fight. And listen, we can't blame them for not wanting to fight this fight, but this is sort of what happened. There's a lot of parallels to what happened in ancient Babylon to what's happening now before ancient Babylon fell. Just thought I'd share that. But let's continue.
So because oil, the world's most traded commodity, has to be bought in US dollars, every country that imports energy must first acquire US dollars. And every central bank holds dollar reserves for this specific reason. And that has been true for 52 years. That's why America can print money, run up debt, fund its own military operations and projects, and still claim to be the most powerful country in the world. Not because America is the biggest, and not because of anything other than the fact that America owns the checkout counter that every other country has to pass through. But then Iran said, halt. A CNN reporter who was citing a military Iranian official said that Iran is letting oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz, except for their enemies, which are the United States of America and is not real, as long as they pay in yuan, Chinese yuan, not the US dollar. And Bloomberg confirmed that a Iranian oil tanker went on through the Strait of Hormuz on March the 15th, bound for China. So China, India, Turkey, they can all pass through the Strait of Hormuz, but the USA, and is not real, cannot. And here's why this is the most dangerous thing that Iran has done, even more dangerous than closing the Strait of Hormuz straight up. So international buyers are now faced with a choice. They either comply with US financial regulations and face a catastrophic energy shortage, or they embrace the yuan and secure safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz. Dollar, yuan, dollar, yuan. So it's up to them, USA or China. Like, they got to make a choice. So basically, every country on earth that has to pass through the Strait of Hormuz is going to have to make a choice. And every choice that decides we're going to take the safe passage and get discount and pay you your yuan is taking a shot at the United States and taking a shot at the petrodollar. So if the yuan takes over oil trade, America's ability to borrow cheaply is going to weaken. The petrodollar system meant that oil producing countries had to take their US dollar and they would buy government bonds, US government bonds with them. This gave the United States cheap loans to pay for hospitals, military, and for schools. So if fewer dollars are coming back to America through oil, because oil trade is now being processed through yuan and not the American dollar, that means that the United States government has to pay higher interest rates, and there's not enough money left for everything else. That means less money for hospitals, less money for schools, less money for the military. And for us Americans, it means higher interest rates.
Way higher interest rates. It's actually going to have a balloon effect, and it's all going to fall back on the people. It's all going to fall back on the people. Make no mistake about that. But let's go.
For your mortgage, higher prices on everything else. That's literally not a theory. Like, that is the math. That's what's going to happen. So this 50-year deal that we had with Saudi Arabia, it expired in 2024, and Saudi Arabia decided not to renew it. Saudi Arabia now said that they would accept the yuan, they would accept the euro, and online money for oil. They would rather take digital money, yuan, and the euro than take the US American dollar. So Saudi Arabia, America's original petrodollar partner, already walked away from the exclusive dollar deal in 2024. No big announcement, no press conference, just quietly said, you know what? We're good. And then Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz. And then Iran also said, you know what? Only yuan. One analysis said,
and you know, I'm going to say this, and the reason why this is able to happen, where it could just fall back on the American people like this, and I'm just going to keep it 1,000 with y'all, it's because Americans are not angry enough at the Epstein class. That's really what it boils down to. And I know that's a curveball that I'm throwing at y'all, but I want you to really consider what's happening right now. When the Epstein files came out, at least the ones we seen, and we found out that the heads of all these corporations, these political figures, these world leaders were on here doing what they was doing, Moloch worshiping, sacrificing children, consuming them, you know, all of the trafficking, all of it. When we didn't listen, and I'm talking about America as a whole, when America didn't shake nothing, all bets was off the table. I'm just gonna call it like it is. All bets was off the table. And now these globalist elite feel like they could do whatever the hell they want to do. Because meanwhile, while they're going through all these conquests and all these excavations for oil and resources from other countries, they know that to pay for the war, we're going to pay for it, something that we don't even want. They know that we're going to continue to pay taxes to the global elite. They know that they got the American people under control, and they're going to beat us down to submission, put America in such debt that they have to roll out universal basic income, and everybody's going to line up and take it. People are going to be good little slaves, good sheeple, and they're going to take it. The only people who want to really come out of all of this with great substance without compromising or getting the mark of the beast is going to be people like us who are going to actually prepare, actually move accordingly, actually do what the scriptures tell us, and build with like-minded people and start to really follow the Holy Spirit and move the way we should move. Those are the only people who are going to make it through. People who start thinking in a more communal sense. Because listen, these people are going to be walking around with digital chips in their brain, tweaked out of their mind, because they're going to have to reset the system. The petrodollar is going to be done. You know what I'm saying? The petrodollar is going to be done, and they're going to be able to implement these 15-minute smart cities or mobility cities, and everybody's going to have daily siphons, except for people who move out of the highly concentrated areas, like we've been saying for years. Move out of the highly concentrated areas and get around your own tribe. Get around your own people, because it's going to get real out here. And I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. It may happen with the next generation or the one after. But the fact that we already know what's going on for our children's children, the fact that we're putting out this truth in these words and letting it be known what's happening in the world, at least they got something to work with. That's the best we can do, is prepare, start doing certain things, putting certain things in place, and plant some seeds. Let them know, look, back in, it might be 2035. You didn't say it back in 2025, we got to prepare for X, Y, and Z. You got to plant seeds, man. For real, because it's going the wrong direction. It's definitely going to a totalitarian government, for sure.
That the petrodollar didn't die in March 2026. It was on life support. And when Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz, they basically just took it off the life support. So is the petrodollar dead? I mean, it's getting there. But this change isn't going to happen all at once. It's going to happen with every tanker that gets let through with exchange of Yuan. It's going to happen with every Yuan that they pay. Every country that chooses the safety discount over the war premium of the American US dollar. The United States of America spent 52 years making sure that every country needed its dollar to purchase oil. And Iran basically just showed the entire world that there is another checkout counter. Not just the U.S. Y'all don't have to go to that window. Y'all can come over here and check out. So I don't know.
And wait till Africa learns that, man. Once Africa learns that their resources alone can get them, and I said this last year, when Africa learned that they have a lot of commodities. Africa is rich in a lot of things. Once they discover that they do not need the dollar, it's over. It's over. Flatline to Babylon. I mean, this is what we're seeing right now is the beginning of the end. America's not looking like the big bad wolf that everybody have to comply with right now. Yep. And this, that scripture right there is key, because this is what it's going to come down to. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. That's right. You know why? Because it's going to have no value. People going to have all of this money and just be casting it into the streets. What the Bible say. People are going to be casting their money in the streets because it's going to have no value. That's how real it is, man.
Y'all think the petrodollar is dead? Is this the death of the United States dollar?
It's coming to it. I mean, we're very close to that. We're very close to the death of the United States dollar. I'm telling you. And people are waking up. You know, you got soldiers that are refusing to fight. And then you got some soldiers who are in instant regret for joining the military. Y'all remember they were giving away those checks to military. They were giving them some type of bonus. And I told y'all that this is what they do right before they send you to war. You know, some people didn't hear that message and they went and joined and they learned the hard way. Because I remember putting out videos like, look, soon as they passed, I forgot what it was called. If y'all remember that bill that Trump passed, where he was giving the military an extra few grand to start up and join, I was like, oh, y'all going to war. This is what they do before they send you to war. Give you a little something extra. When you go into the chow line, they give you some extra food because you about to be cannon fodder. You about to hit the front line. 4-star, thank you for the support. Says America is the sacrifice and Trump has put into place the demolition man. You know they'll use all this chaos to their own advantage everywhere. Absolutely. Yep, you're right about that. It's order out of chaos for these people.
Girl was excitedly showing off the money she received from joining the army last month, but now she's crying and wants to quit. She decided to enlist because she could not find a stable job. She signed an 8-year contract and agreed to possible overseas assignments and deployment to dangerous areas. At the time, she was excited because she received a signing bonus and believed military life would mostly be safe. After tensions and conflict between the United States and Iran recently escalated, she was reportedly told she could be sent to serve in the region. That is when the reality of the situation hit her. She said she suddenly realized she might face real danger and possibly risk her life. Now she says she regrets the decision and wishes she could leave the military. However, leaving is not simple. Once someone signs a military contract and enters service, quitting is not an option. If a soldier refuses orders or tries to leave without permission, they can face serious consequences, including punishment under military law or even a military court. Some people say she should have understood the risks before signing the contract. Others say many young people join the military without fully understanding what they are agreeing to. What do you think? Should it be easier for new recruits to change their mind?
See, that's what I'm telling you. I mean, shorty, she thought it was sweet. She thought, look, I'm going to get that extra bonus. You know, I'm going to get that sign-in bonus. They're going to pay for my school. I ain't got nothing to worry about. X, Y, and Z. And then here you go. Don't listen. If you're going to commit to the military, then commit to it. But once you sign on the dotted line, they own you, your life in all perpetuity. I think it's a saying in the Army, or it may be the Marines, one of them, that your life don't belong to you, it belongs to the military. So, you know, you got to move wise out here. Got to move wise.
It's amazing how I feel comfortable with what's going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
All this war and rumors of war. And the more and more that shit happens, the more missiles get thrown, the more bombs that blow up. I feel like, I got to be honest, my spirit feels comforted.
Mine do too. Goodness gracious. I thought something was wrong with me. How many of y'all agree with what the brother just said? He said, the more chaos happens, the more my spirit feels comforted. I honestly agree with that. Why? Because it's validating the scriptures. And I know our time here in this Babylonian matrix system is coming to a screeching halt. I actually look forward to the ushering of the new heaven and the new earth. I literally salivate at the moment where this matrix that we in, it ends. I don't know, man. I don't know. It just makes the scriptures jump off the page. For me, it makes me cleave closer to the Most High. That's what it does. Because everything that we thought over the years is true. Matthew 11:28 says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." All of the hard work we got to put in, all of the times we got to be shortchanged and held back, and they give us a ceiling. Think about it. All of the frustration that we felt in life, knowing that these people played with our potential, knowing that these people try to suppress our growing, our progression. You're living in a world that has an invisible ceiling. And you got all these invisible enemies. Just think about knowing that all of that's going to come to the end and you're going to have your rightful place one day. Anytime I'm feeling overwhelmed, it makes me go to the scriptures. And what I see in the news, it can be overwhelming. But guess what that does? Make you lock into the scriptures. Isaiah 40:29 says, "He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increaseth their strength." It's like the Most High increases our strength when we don't have no might in our hands. We don't know what we're going to do next, but he strengthens us. Galatians 6:9, "And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." Can't grow weary in doing the right thing. Cousin, in the right season, everything is going to work itself out. That's why I always tell people, do the right thing and then see what happens. Do the right thing and then see what's going to happen. Yeah, we are watchful. We see what's going on. The world is in chaos. But do the right thing and see what's going to happen. Because the scriptures tell you in Proverbs 14:29, "He that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly." See, when you sit there and you keep your composure during times of pressure, and you slow to just lash out or react to things, you have great wisdom. Because these demons and devils out here going to be trying to get brothers and sisters to react, and they're going to try to get y'all to crash out in this time just because you can post. That's why the scriptures tell us in James 1:19, "Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath." And we could be angry at what's going on, or we could choose to be relieved that the Most High is working things out the way he's supposed to. I know that you're living in a time where a lot of you all are fed up. We work hard all the time and we're not getting the things we deserve, but remain steadfast, remain solid. Yeah, self-control is definitely a needed skill in this time, for sure. But anyway, let's go on. I went into this tangent, but the brother was saying something real that I connected to, but let's go.
Relaxed. It feel like I'm getting more comfortable in my skin for some reason. Mm-hmm. And I love the humbling of America. I love the way this place is being humbled, and you can start seeing the false pride in people now. Been shaken up a little bit.
Man, I'm enjoying every bit of it, y'all. When I see Trump on the news looking defeated, man, it just does something for me, man. When I see America get humbled, when I see Trump say, "Yo, I didn't know Iran was this strong and powerful, hey, we didn't expect them to do this. We were shocked." When I see their pride become a stumbling block, it does something for me. When I see middle America going back and forth, fighting like they're in a damn civil rights movement, I'm like, ooh, America's getting shook into the core. It's something good about seeing them get humbled, knowing what they did to my people, knowing what the Roman Empire did to the Messiah. knowing what white supremacy has done, and I see even some of the white supremacists had to throw away their MAGA hats, and they had to go cop one of these "Make the Truth Great Again" hats. Even let me say that again. Even white supremacists had to go to nubreedglobaltruth.com, cop the "Make the Truth Great Again" hats. They even had to toss their MAGA hats out, man. America's getting humbled. When you see it, it just does something for you. Yeah, they out here making fake AI videos of Netanyahu to prove that he's still alive, y'all. They're panicking. Peak Hegseth, every time he get on the news, he's panicking. The FBI, what is his name? The guy who be having his eyes bugging out his head. Cash Patel. Every time he get on TV, they all look like they're in panic mode. But God's people, we chilling. We chilling. We know what it's like to struggle. We've been struggling. we know what it's like to be in danger. Some of us who grew up in the inner city, we've been in danger every day of our lives. This ain't nothing to us. For us, it's just one big told you so, because you didn't treat God's people right. You didn't give the Most High's people what they deserve. You told us once we were freed as slaves, we all was going to get 40 acres and a mule. You never gave us that. You should have. Maybe your country will be in a better position. If you gave the slaves their 40 acres and a mule, I guarantee that America wouldn't be going through this right now. But no, y'all wanted to continue to be racist, spread divide among the people, turn everybody against everybody. It's not just about black folks. Y'all lied to us about everything. You keep trying to manipulate and play these games. And now look at your country. Nobody wants to stand together with you all. You did everybody wrong. You crossed everybody. And now you're having a humbling experience, and we're enjoying it. How many of y'all, by show of ones, are enjoying seeing America squeak and squirm for all the wrong they done? I know I am. Anyway, let's go.
Oh, shit, we're not really that superpower we thought we were. You know, watching these goddamn Superman movies and Avengers movies, I done fucking forgot reading these damn comic books. This is false security. This is meant to hype you up. Mm-hmm. That's why when you go to the military here, they always yelling and shit. It's getting you, riling your spirit with these speeches because you need it. You need it. We're not the only warriors. It's a big-ass world. Man, let them missiles go, man. Push the goddamn button.
I'm telling you, man. I think they better let it go. Let it go now. Looks like another love TKO. I think America better let it go. I think they better stop what they doing, man. Hey, right now, Trump, it looked like Trump then turned the power out in Cuba so he can take over Cuba. He all on the news talking about he gonna take over Cuba, knowing that they're in desperation. So meanwhile, while America getting G-checked, the bully keep on bullying. He keep on punching down. The bully tried to punch a fair opponent. That didn't work. So now he like, you know what, let's go back to punching downward again. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, it's about time they throw in the damn towel, for real. I think it's about time they throw in the towel and cut out the shenanigans, man. Cut out the shenanigans. And then you got this going around right now. Well, first off, let me share with y'all this.
Wake up, Tel Aviv. The Iron Dome is not what you need. We're at day 18 and the missiles keep getting through. You would think that the Iron Dome just sitting here in the sky would at least try to hit something. That was actually a missile. That's right, because the Iron Dome is not even in the sky as much anymore. And I didn't even bring up the facts that rockets are coming out of Lebanon like every 20 minutes. Yet again, no interceptors. And these are missiles and flashes in the heart of Tel Aviv city. But don't worry, guys, everything is going great in Tel Aviv. I'm sure the air defenses in Saudi Arabia... Oh yeah, that's the biggest oil refinery in the capital. Well, Qatar has the biggest American Air Force base, and it's on fire. Oh, and rockets are somehow reaching the Israelis in Gaza. That's a new one. Everything's doing so good, even the aircraft carrier is getting the hell out of the Middle East.
Man, listen, y'all. I don't know what that song is playing, so I ain't going to play too much of this. But, man, they sitting there trying to tell us that they trying to sit up here and tell us that they're intercepting all these missiles. Here it is. It's day 18, and Iran is still showering these people. And Elmo is celebrating. Elmo over there celebrating. It's like they're bombing the world powers. They're sending these strikes with rapid succession, and the whole world is cheering for it. The whole world is cheering for it. Crazy work, y'all. Crazy work. And then, you know, this guy right here, we got more videos of him trying to act like he alive again. Hold on, let me find one without the freaking sound effects. Look at
me to come and make sure you were okay. Yes, sure you were okay. Okay.
Now, what the hell is that? Man, Bibi Netanyahu is either injured severely in some type of coma, or he gone, y'all. He gone. But something's wrong. Something's wrong. They keep releasing these videos. Y'all seen the glitch. It was an AI glitch. They keep showing these videos of this man saying he alive. It's clearly AI. Yo, it's clearly AI. Look at this again. Look at this one more time.
Asked me to come and make sure you were okay. Yes, sure you were okay.
Man, that was a very unnatural face movement. I've seen that on 2K. I've seen stuff like that on 2K23. I literally have seen that happen on 2K23, y'all. What are they? What are they doing? Just admit it. Something happened to Bibi. Something happened to Bibi, y'all. I don't think he's amongst the living anymore. And they keep hitting us with all this propaganda like we stupid. They really think we stupid. And listen, instead of Bibi Netanyahu going to his regular scheduled meetings, he keeps showing up in AI videos. Man, I tell you, man. Listen, hashtag not for sale, y'all. This is for all the real ones out here who are not for sale, who not selling their souls. Nubreedglobaltruth.com. Also, jump on Nubreedglobaltruth.com when y'all get the chance, brothers and sisters. If you want to be a part of the travel business, if you want to start your own travel business and you want to help others get started, go to Nubreedglobaltruth.com. You can go ahead and enroll. You can sign up. You can do whatever you need to do right there. All right. And then you can get, once you get involved, then I'm going to reach out to you, or a representative will reach out to you, and we can get you started. Because we got some legit business going on. We got some legit business going on. And this is for those who are thinking outside the box, who are tired of the 9 to 5 and want some residual income in a very growing industry, And I'm saying these things right now so y'all can go check out the website, because this is something you got to get ahead of. Sort of like when crypto came, when internet entrepreneurship came, when AI came, all of these things. The travel industry, that's going to blow up just like that, y'all. Just like that. So y'all make sure y'all tap in on the site. But y'all see this, man. Somebody said reptilian. No, this is AI. I mean, just look how quickly his face changed.
Hey. Asked me to come and make sure you were okay.
Yes.
Sure you were okay.
He asked me to come and make sure you're okay. Yes, I am alive. I am Bibi Netanyahu. Y'all see me do videos. I'm drinking coffee. I'm enjoying air. I'm breathing just like you. I'm not artificial intelligence. Come on, man. Who does this? Who proves they're alive by doing videos in candid places saying that they're alive instead of going to his regular scheduled meetings? He may be alive, but he's definitely in some type of hiding, because this is not BB. This is not real. These videos are not real. Yeah, they spending all that money on AI and it's still not working. Yeah. I am just, Jazz says, I want to join the travel business. All you got to do is go on Nubreed, globaltruth.com, and follow the prompts, y'all. And, of course, we're looking for more business partners who are serious minded. I'm looking for people who are outspoken. I'm looking for people who like to be social. I'm looking for people who like to travel. People who are professionals, and people who, most of all, who just want more out of their lives instead of just the 9 to 5 rigmarole. People who think outside of the box. People who are very optimistic and open-minded. People who are willing to invest in themselves. Those are the type of people who should be on nubreedglobaltruth.com and checking out the travel business. All the information is there so you can get started. Somebody says, wow, the commercials are overextended on this program now. Yeah, I don't know why that's happening, because the commercials should be turned down very low, very conservative. That's nothing I can do about that. But as I said before, when you all show y'all support via Cashapp, via Super Chat, we can lower the ad revenue. So that's just how it works. Let me see. Somebody says, let me see. Believers, try the Spirit, instructing believers to test spiritual claims to see if they are of God. Absolutely. Discernment is top priority these days. But this is not Bibi Netanyahu, man. This is clearly AI. And times are changing. I got one more video I want to show y'all of what's going on in this world right now. But let's go. And this is the reason for the war in Iran. Check this out. Everybody get the likes up.
The dollar system is playing for all the marbles.
Yep. The U.S. is going for broke against Iran.
The Rothschild network is going for broke.
Yeah. The Epstein network is going for broke here.
If they're going to implement a control model, they need to shut down all the leakage.
Right. And I think the thinking from the Epstein empire is, hey, we better take care of this now because China's getting stronger and Russia's getting stronger, and Iran's getting stronger, and we're getting weaker. So it's now or never.
Right. I agree. I totally agree.
Make no mistake about this. This is most certainly a proxy war from the U.S.'s point of view against China. This is a move on China. And make no mistake about it, China is knee deep behind the scenes in Iran.
And they keep saying there's no reason why we're in a war in Iran. They can't give us a logical, rational reason. And that's because if you look at what the reason is, they don't want to say it. I mean, if you're the president, you can't say, we have to shut down the central bank leakage so the Epstein network or the Rothschild network, whatever you want to call it, can implement complete control. That's not a good reason to make public.
In the year 2000, there was 9 countries without a Rothschild-owned central bank. And as you can see on this list, we've been knocking them down. Who's our number one enemy right now? Iran. Who have we been bombing? Syria. Who did we just kidnap their president from? Venezuela.
And that's just a real deal. All of these are places that are not Rothschild owned. Peep the game, y'all. America's going for the gusto. That's what's happening right now. Trump decided to make a power play to try to pretty much bogart the whole system, but it's backfiring.
And for those that don't remember, this is a U.S. soldier in Iraq. And this guy, I don't know who he is, but he's correct. Judging by who's celebrating, you know whose car it was. And as you can see here, Nat Rothschild congratulated President Trump.
All right, I don't want to get hit with any copyright. I hear they playing Summer Breeze in the background. I just peeped that. So, but you get the point. The Rothschilds, they got their hands in all of it. But I think what they just tried to do, it backfired. Believe it backfired. But nonetheless, brothers and sisters, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining the broadcast. Also, support HebrewCare.com. Get all your natural products. You know, all of those bad chemicals that they're selling in the products. You can go the natural route. We got a one-stop shop for you at HebrewCare.com. And I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining, man. We got much more coming down the turnpike. And, you know, everybody just keep your head on a swivel. Keep your head up. I want you to keep in mind that the scriptures tell us in Isaiah 41:10, it says, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. So, you know, the Most High didn't give us the spirit of fear, but the power of love and a sound mind. You know, cast our burdens on him and move righteously. Don't let the news get you out of control. You got to keep living your life. You got to remain ambitious. Like, don't let these devils kill your drive. Don't let them kill your momentum. There's so much negativity that's put out there on social media, through the airwaves. There's so much going on in the world, and it's all designed to really stagnate you. The world has not faded away yet, and there's so many things that we could be doing together in the power of unity, strength, and actually making something happen. Don't let these people, stop you from actually excelling in life. You understand? But one love to y'all. Y'all stay blessed out there. We're going to keep our eyes on what's going on. I'm going to keep y'all informed as usual. Comment down in the comment section after the video if you were edified, because we be needing that extra volume, because that also spreads the material. So talk to me down in the comment section that this live stream helped you in your walk and your journey. Or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Anyway, one love to y'all. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace.